to start a recording, then share screen, and here is my PPT. Wait a minute. Is my screen visible now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, thank you for your patience, because I tested your patience, and uh, it was a technical error, so it was out of my control also. So this is our 8 sessions, and we may have completed our all the sessions till now, if there was not a problem like some days I was sick, some days Kamal sir was not available, some days Rabiullah sir, and some days you. So that is why we have got late, but don't worry, we are going to finish it in time, and with proper preparations and proper presentation. So I welcome all my friends from Bangladesh in here, 8 sessions of our India Bangladesh tele collaborations. So today's topic, we are going to discuss. The first topic is about your region, that means my region, that is we are going to discuss here today, and I think we have discussed in detail about these sections in previous sessions also. And then in last session we have discussed about the quality education, and today we are also going to discuss the same point again with different points. Okay, so we are going to discuss about these 2 points here. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you were clear, sir.
Okay, hello everyone, I am Ramesh Wag, and these are my contact details on various platform. You can follow me by using these my user IDs, and my contact number is given there. Heartily welcome to this 8 sessions of India Bangladesh tele collaborations. Let us start. First topic of this session is your region. There is a epic in India. You may have know about that. That is Ramayana. I hope that you will aware of this, because it is very famous epic from Indian literature, Indian mythology, and Indian in Hindu religion. It is also very holy. It is supposed to be holy, but it is a very fantastic story. And there is a saying that, and everyone should be fond of this saying, that in all over the world, because not in India, it is said Janani Janma Bhumischa Swargadapi Gariyasi. What is meant by Janani? Janani means mother. Mother who give us a birth, who show us this world, that is our mother. And then motherland, where we take birth and where we grow up. Those two things are greater than any heaven. Okay, if there are a choice in front of you, that whether you are going to choose your mother or heaven, who are going to choose? Absolutely, of course you are going to choose your mother. Then there is option again, your motherland and heaven. So which thing you are going to choose? You are going to choose your motherland, that is your Janma Bhumi. That is why in Ramayana, Rama said that Janani Janma Bhumischa Swargadapi Gariyase. In that epic war between Ram and Ravana, Ram won the war and conquered the whole empire of the Ravana. Eh? At that time, all the followers of Ram and all the warriors, all the senapatis of this that army said that Ram, you should be the king, you should be emperor of this golden empire. That was golden empire at the time. That is why it has been called that Sonyachi Lanka. That is Sri Lanka. Okay. But at that time, Ram said that, so I don't want to live here if whether it is all golden or whether it is very richest city or richest empire. I don't want to be here. I just want to go to meet my mother and my motherland. So in this point that about my region, so no one can explain all his emotions through the words about this his own region. That you know that our common and very lovely poet, that is Rabindranath Tagore, has been written very touching lines about our region. That is you always say that Amar Sonar Bangla, or in India also it is Bharat Bhagya Vidhata. That is the feeling about this Janani Janmabhoomi. That is mean Janani Janmabhoomi means our region, our motherland. Okay, so I am going to talk something about this point here again. Here languages, food, weather, and services. These are 4 points in this first point. If we see about the languages, you can see this map here. Here is a you know, I am specifically from here. You can see here my mouse. Okay, so here in this map, there are 29 states in India. So here right now I am presenting from here. If you see on the map, can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. So right now I am presenting from here, and this is a Marathi speaking area. Okay. Though there is a specifically Marathi language here, but there are so many sub languages, local languages in this region. All this blue map is of our Maharashtra state. That is Maratha people, Maratha warrior, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and those I have told you before. Then adjoining state, this is a Gujarat state. Prime Minister of India, that is Narendra Modi, comes from this state, and these people speaks Gujarati especially. Then at the north, all this area which is colored in saffron color in map, they are Hindi speaking people. Then at the north of this Hindi speaking area, there is Punjabi people. Okay, Punjabi Bhangra and Punjabi dance and Punjabi songs and Punjabi singers. You can search on YouTube and you can see those. Then here is this is Jammu Kashmir region, and this is a Kashmiri language of Kashmiri people, and then this is Ladakhi language, okay, of Ladakh people. Okay, then at this border space there is a Dogri and Nepali language. This is Nepal, which I have highlighted, that is Nepal. And at this region Nepali language is spoken basically, and this is Darjeeling and part of West Bengal. Here Gorkha land, that is Gorkha language is spoken. Then this is in this area of Arunachal Pradesh, which is adjoining to Tibet. Tibet is now part of China. Here is a China, and here this Nisa language is spoken. Then adjoining this is a map of Assam state, and here Assami language is spoken. And there are so many tribal language, tribal area in Jangli area. You know that this is Ao language. Then this is Manipuri of Manipur, Mizo language of Mizoram. Then Khasi language of this Meghalaya. Then this white patch is Bangladesh. Okay. In this West Bengal and Bangladesh, commonly there is a Bengali language spoken. Then at south of Bangladesh and West Bengal, this is Odia. This is Orissa state, and the famous Jagannath Puri temple, Lord Jagannath temple, and Rath Yatra of Jagannath. It is very famous here. So it is been Oriya language here. Then here is a Telugu language, that is Andhra Pradesh. Right now it has been divided in two states. Okay, I have lined it approximately. Okay, so this is Andhra and then this is Telangana. Okay, both states speak this Telugu language. Then south to this Telangana, here is a Kannada, that is Karnataka. Kannada language is spoken there. Then here is a Tamil Nadu. Tamil language is spoken there, and here is Malayalam. Sorry, Kerala. Kerala, there is Malayalam language is spoken there in Kerala. Then this area, which are the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Bengali language is spoken there in the mass level. Okay, then you can see these are the islands, some islands here in Arabian Sea. Those are the Lakshadweep Islands. Their Malayalam language is basically spoken. Okay, right now here are some regions. You know, this is Rajasthan, then this is Uttar Pradesh, then this is a Madhya Pradesh, and this is a Chhattisgarh, this is a Bihar, and this is a Jharkhand, and there is a Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 states. All these states are Hindi speaking states, but there are also different type of languages spoken. For example, here is a Rajasthani, then here is a Braj Bhasha in Uttar Pradesh. There is a Braj Bhasha. You know, great poet Sant Tulsidas has written about Ramayana, that Ramacharitmanas, which is in Braj Bhasha. Then so many languages are there, but basically these are languages which has been included in Indian Constitution, and by that inclusion it has been recognized at national languages of India. Though Hindi is the national language, still these are the languages which has been recognized in Indian Constitution. And once again I would like to say you that English has though there are only 1% or 1.5% people speak English, but still English has a very significant place in all those states, and educated peoples and cities, they speak English. So this is about languages of India. And then this is a common food. You know, India is a very vast region and vast country and vast culture and different state, different climatic regions, different people. So there are different type of foods, but still this is a very common Indian thali. You know, you see here chapati, then this is chapati. Okay, then this is a chutney, onion, this is a achar, that is lonsa in English. What to see, I am not finding proper words, sorry for that. And this is one type of vegetable, this is another, and this is a, you know, rice. Then this is a something to drink, that is sweet, maybe yogurt or something or that. This is a sweet laddu or something. This is a papad, and this is a chamach to it. So this is very common food Indian people prefer to eat. If you go to coastal region, there people only eat rice. If you go to their Punjab, Haryana, they eat makke di roti, like this. But in Maharashtra, we just eat bhaji puri. That means this bhaji and this is puri. Okay. So this is the common food, very interesting food, and very preferred thali in India. So if you come to my place, so you will enjoy. Yes, Jasmine ma'am, if you come to my home, I will serve you these laddus and different type of Indian foods. But this is main food, that is why I have focused on this thali. Except that there are so many food items there in India. Okay, so this is the climatic map of India. If you look at the map, you can find out that what type of climate is there. And I think this is, if you see, my highlighter is going here. this area is Bangladesh area, and so this atmosphere, this climate, this weather is same in India and Bangladesh. There is no that is humid that is tropical wet and dry. Okay, all this region is tropical wet and dry. I am presenting from here, from Nashik, Maharashtra. Okay, so my atmosphere and your atmosphere from here in Dhaka, that is same. If you see this, this is line. Okay, so we are also comes under the same climatic region, same weather conditions. Okay, here you see at the north highland, it is a very cold, and there are always ice spread on the top of the mountains whole year. Okay, and one thing you need to know that this if you see my highlighter, this is Rajasthan and Gujarat. Okay, so all these are desert, so there is a very little rain. That is why there is not rain, and there is not a variety of different type of crops and different type of civilization also is not right now very developed there. Population is very less there, and then this adjoining area where rain comes to lower and lower, and this is a watershed area of this Sahyadri mountain. This is a Sahyadri mountain of the western coast of India, and as this monsoon comes from here, it gets heavy rain in this side. You can say there tropical wet, this type of this heavy rain here, and here isn't not anything. Then some winds of monsoon region comes from here get heavy rain, because here are the Garo, Kashi, Jaintia, like this, and from this these winds turns and go to north of India, and then it returns again, and like this. So this is the climate and all these things right now in monsoon season in India. Very much similar to Bangladeshi climate, and due to its vast expansion, okay, from north to south, India is I think 3,200 kilometer expansion. So that there are so many different variety of climate we can see there. Okay, so then this is the services about the there are 58 to 59% of GDP of India is constituted by service sector. Only 13% of Indian GDP comes from agriculture as compared to Bangladesh. Now, right now, India is a third economic power of the world. After America, China, India is at number third. In the sense of PPP, that is purchasing power parity. Okay, and that in that all the big volume of Indian economy, service sector contribute more and more. Here is you can see education sector, that is from all these South African countries. Here is that African, there are 54 African nations, and all these countries come to take education India, and not African, all from world, but basically the number of these people are bigger there. Then here is a energy sector. Energy sector constitute more in this Indian economy. Then there is a health sector. If you are going to transplant kidney, if you are going to transplant your heart, if you are going to transplant your knee, or any critical operation, you need to pay 10 times more in America or Britain. But if you come to India for that treatment, there is a 10 times less cost here. So that is why this medical sector in India is very growing sector. Then this is again law sector. Then this is a service sector. There is this is a e-marketing sector. There are air travels, and these are monorails, metro rails, and agricultural, this type of sector. Then these are auto sectors, and so many. These all sectors cumulatively contribute about 58% in Indian economy, and agriculture only contribute 13%. So it is very big part of Indian economy, and that is why it was said that India is a agricultural land and Bharat ha krushi pradhan desh hai. But right now it can be said that India is a service oriented country. Okay, so we are going to move next slide. Best thing about our region, you know, I have said that in India there are so many things, but if we are going to choose the best, so again there is a point, Janani Janma Bhumischa Swargadapi Gariyasi. That means I am going to say whatever I want to say, I am going to say about my motherland. So best hero of this motherland, that is Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. You come here, I will show you all related places of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was a very just king of this land, and he made the life of common man livable. That is why people worship him as a god here, and people always remember him as a warrior and as a king and as a just king. So it is a very special thing about my state, that is Maharashtra, that is Marathi people. India, I have so many people like this, Maharana Pratap, Samrat Akbar, or in South there are different type of Raja Krishna Deva Rai, and so many. There are so many ancient universities here, ancient temples here. Just I mentioned Jagannath Puri temple, or there are Mathura in Gujarat, Dwarka in Maharashtra. There are 12 Jyotirlinga, that is mean temples of Mahadev, dedicated to Mahadev. That then 51 Shakti Pithas, then Ashtavinayaka, that is dedicated to Ganapati Bappa. Then this was Ganapati Utsav going on last week. So all these are things are very unique and very important. But if we are going to choose only one, so it is very difficult to choose single thing from that. But I significantly can say that this is the special thing about Marathi people, that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Okay, then if you come to my place in Nashik or in India, some maybe Allah may give you chance to come to me. I will show this fantastic region. This is a temple of Ganapati Pule at the coast of Ratnagiri district of Maharashtra, and this is a very beautiful beach. You know, this is very big beach. You can see from here to here, and lot of people come to visit there to enjoy there. A lot of foreigner people from America, China, French, and so on. And this is not the only beach I have just selected for a picture. There are so many beaches there at the coastal region of India. Then at the mountain region, but Jasmine ma'am don't like to go at mountain and trekking. That is why I selected this picture here. There is no mountain and no danger there to go there. Very neat and clean water and very fantastic atmosphere and hospitality and so on, and other things are there. So if you get a chance, fortunately, if I get a chance to welcome you here in India, I will definitely going to show you all these things. Okay. And as Jasmine ma'am said that she don't like negative thing, I have just not avoided them, but I have cut them from my PPT, so I am not going to say about something that. Then there is a second part of our today's session is that about quality education. Okay, am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So evaluation pattern of students achievement, whatever Jasmine ma'am has been presented, more or less Indian pattern of that evaluation is similar, but one thing is there which I want to make clear from here, that continuous comprehensive evaluation, that is CCE. CCE has been launched from year 2009. That was RT Act was passed, Right to Education, and in the last session we have discussed about this RT. That continuous means regular and continuous activities conducted throughout the year to achieve all-round development. This is very important word, that is all-round development. Okay, if you are going to test a fish with different meter, if you ask a fish, come on the road and run the race of 100-meter running, fish is going to fail definitely, because he don't know how to run and how to win that race. And if you go and ask a rabbit to come and win the race of swimming, she is not going to win that race. So different people have different abilities and different type of special skills. That is why I think J.F. McDougall has said that there are 14 type of or more 18 type of intellects there. That is language intellect, mathematical intellect, emotional intellect, whatever, like this. But we just focus on only if we focus on only one thing, then it is not said that all rounder development. So we have to focus on all around, all side of the personality of the children. That is the main aim of this continuous. Then comprehensive, that is mean mental, emotional and physical aspect of student progress. That also comes in under the all round. That if you are going to judge only physical things and excluding emotional, that is not fair. If you are going to judge only emotional things and not mental and physical, that is not fair. If you just going to measure mental things, then that is also not just and fair according to all round development of our students or learners. So comprehensive evaluation should have to be done. It has been said in that act, and all by various report of various committees there. Then evaluation means a variety of tools and techniques are used to assess the and evaluate the student progress. Okay, there are eight tools there, 8 tools. Okay, before that there was only tool that that is a written exam. Written exam was conducted, and after that written exam, with the help of the mark score in that exam, student has been passed. Right now there is a project, there is a homework, there is a different type of thing that students are evaluated on the basis of those things, peer review, interview. So many tools are there. There are 8 tools are there in CC, and with that tools students are evaluated at the primary level. Okay, at the secondary and higher secondary level also there is a lot of part of that is consisted via practical workshop at school level, and then written exam has been shrunken there. Okay, in the college level also. So this is the evaluation pattern. Then specification of books. I have taken a screenshot from one book. Here is a book of first standards. You can see here. Here is a very specialty of this book, that there is a barcode is provided here. From your mobile you can scan this, and there is a video of that page, and that unit, whatever unit may be, that may be history, science, English, whatever unit it may be. Right now if student want to read those words and listen about this and read about this and watch about the video, he can just open his camera and scan this barcode, and all this unit will come live. That means quality teacher will come live and he will teach him. This is an extra benefit. Then by using this textbook, teacher can suppose I am a teacher, I will teach like this from here. Okay, but if now in the lockdown period, if student cannot reach the teacher, or if there is he missed the Zoom class or whatever, so he can just scan this QR code and by scanning this QR code, video of that part will come live, and people that student can learn from that. Okay, this is the very interactive feature of textbook at a primary level in our Maharashtra and in India, and different type of other experiment also done through this. Okay, then what are the government authorities? This is a NCERT, that is Vidya Amruta Ashnute. That means knowledge is Amrut. Amrut means by drinking that divine juice you cannot die, like this. So that is the motto of this NCERT. It at the central level. At the state level, there is a Maharashtra Rajya Shaikshanik Samshodhana Prashikshan Parishad, that is responsible for the management and education and training and evaluation and publishing the textbook at our state, that EMS Maharashtra State Educational Research and Training. That is MSCERT, Maharashtra State Council for Educational Research and Training. And this is the logo of that institute, and its motto is that Jnana Seva tu Safalyam. That means service to knowledge is the only grateful thing that a human being can do there. Okay, these are a state. This is a central and this is a state authority. At the district level, there is another authority. I am going to show you here. This is the Jilla Parishad and diet at the diet level, district level. That is diet, district diet. Sorry, 1 second. At the district level, there is a diet. Diet means DIET, District Institute of Education and Training. Okay, that is responsible for all the activities regarding education in the district level. Then there is a BRC, that Block Research Center here. In every block, in every tahsil, that is sub district in your Bangladeshi language, there is a BRC, and after that BRC, there is a CRC, that is cluster level. Usually there are 15 to 20 schools and in one cluster, and there is a CRC, and after that CRC, that is a school. Okay, so this is all authorities and all the framework of this thing. Then I would like to thank again all of you for your patience, and you have listened me very patiently. And this was all from my presentation that I wanted to say from here. So I have presented to you. Right now, I am going to stop this presentation. Thanks all my friends, all members from Bangladesh. And if you want to say something, I will happy to listen from you about your feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for a nice presentation. I have noticed that your starting of this presentation always very attractive, and in different way you have started your session. All this session, I have noticed that. Is it true, sir, Rabiullah sir?
Yes, yes, ma'am. I
we
did know.
always. Ji.
I know that our session should end by September 30. Sir, I look forward to your continued support so that we can finish by September 13th.
Okay, okay,
Sir.
Okay, sir. Okay.
And can we hold one session after another days?
Okay. Okay, okay. Thank you for your very encouraging feedback. And again, there are 3 minutes remaining. So if you want to say something, we can go ahead. I just stop this recording.